welcome to episode 4, where I'm going to talk about my problems. But having listened to some of it back, I've realised that naturally I cover things up with humour and don't talk about the severity as much. So there's definitely a lot more that I can go into about PMDD particularly and how that's impacted my life. Also how everything's affected every part of my life, and about some very severe mental health problems I've had as a result of it. So that's great. So what we're thinking is there will be a second part at some point. So take this as part 1. And if you listen to this and you suspect you might have one of these things, please speak to a professional. And thank you so much if you do listen. Hello, my name's Kate. I have lots of notes.
No, I think it's okay.
Okay, cool.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well as well, thank you. You look
Good.
extra sexy today.
Do I?
Yeah.
I hate having my hair up, so this is very uncomfortable for me. But I put mascara on for once that I thought might just make me feel better.
See, if I
Having my
was
hair up.
you, I would have my hair up a lot because you've got really good baby hair and you've got really good hairline.
Do you think?
Yeah, with the baby hair and stuff, you've got a really good
I
hairline.
always thought I had like a bit of a receding
No,
hairline.
you've got a really good one. So if I was you, I'd be like, everyone look at my hairline.
Nice hairline.
Yeah.
Have you ever worn your hair up on a night out?
No. Have you seen the size of we measured my head this week
Really?
at work.
At work.
Yeah, because so basically we have a situation where my head's like above average and your head's below average. So like for our photos and stuff, I've had to stand further back to try and not make it as obvious. And at work they were saying about my big head, so they brought measuring tape in, measured it, and my head is the average size of a man's head. So that's great. Yeah, that's really great. It's really, really helpful. Yeah.
We should measure
So I'm
my
like a
head.
lollipop. Yeah, yours is going to be like the
Baby's
circumference, I reckon. I'm going to say like 53 centimetres.
I'm not very good with like measurements, so that doesn't mean much to me, but yeah, it'd be very small.
Okay, well, mine's 57.
We need to measure it because so only 4 centimetres smaller.
Oh, all right, fucking hell. You think it's... Oh!
Well, that's just because
no,
I don't
it's
know.
the average head circumference
Yeah.
for a woman is 55 centimetres.
Oh, okay.
And for a man, it's 57.
Right.
So mine's 2 centimetres. So that's a big 2 centimetres, actually, you can tell clearly. So, yeah, I think yours will be like...
Well, we'll measure it and then next time.
We'll measure it at the end of the episode. How's that? Apart from that, you all right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, I am good. I'm just trying to think what I can tell you about. Oh, I was proud of myself because last night I went to a friend's birthday gathering. And it made me realise, actually, because it was like a party at someone's house, it made me realise I haven't been in a situation for ages where I'm like around a big group of people who like you're meant to mingle with. Like, obviously, I've been like places that are busy, but I just mean I haven't been to like a party sort of vibe for a long time. And it made me feel really anxious. And normally what I would do is I would just get fucking smashed to like get through the anxiety. But I didn't do that last night. I only had a couple of drinks and I just sat with the anxiety.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. So, because I really did. At some point, I was like, I'm just going to fucking down like a glass of rosé, but I didn't do that. So,
Well done. So you're not hungover today?
I'm not
for once.
hungover today.
That's really good, though. Because that was something we spoke about before. So, yeah. Yes. Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Oh.
So, yeah, I wanted to tell you my little win there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you're good.
Thank you. And are you good? How are you feeling out of 10 today?
Oh, well, I woke up very overwhelmed this morning.
Overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Because I was like, we've got this podcast stuff, which I love.
Yeah.
But going on, and then wedding stuff's happening. I bought my wedding dress yesterday.
Oh,
yeah. So that's exciting.
And it's gorgeous.
Thank you. And I was like, I've got to do this, this and this, and figuring out, we're having like a wedding reception-y, like, no, not a reception, like a small registry office-y type thing.
Yeah.
I was just thinking this morning, everyone's going to hate me because no one can come. And, it's getting into that.
They won't.
But it's fine. It's all good. And then I was like, the house is a mess. Do you know what I mean? So many things to do. But yes, I'm good, thank you, darling.
Good. Just a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But anyway.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Do I need a coffee? Sorry.
We're 8 minutes in already.
I think I need a coffee shot.
Okay, you have a quick coffee shot.
Do you hate me?
No, not at all.
Okay, I'm ready. I've had my coffee shot. Sorry about that.
Does a coffee shot not just make you need to poo?
No, what?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Go on.
I just feel like coffee goes straight through you.
Oh, no, I have so much of it that...
But anyway, we digress.
We do digress.
Today's a different episode.
It is.
It's
a different setup.
Yes.
This time, isn't it?
It's going to be more serious.
Very serious.
Yeah, we thought we would have a little bit of a different episode, and I'm going to interview you because, as we have mentioned in the podcast, you have ADHD, you have PMDD, and you have autism, and you've been on your own journey, which I'm very proud of. And I think it would be nice to talk about it. And, we're not professionals.
Mm-hmm.
We don't actually really know what the fuck we're talking about, but you can share your journey and maybe it will help someone, or maybe it'll just be interesting to, for people to listen to.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to share my experience.
Yeah.
And, like I said, this is what's worked for me. I think another thing as well, because you do get people that say, well, I also forget my car keys, so therefore, I'm a bit ADHD.
Yeah.
But I think, so some of the symptoms or things that I experience, other people that don't have it will also experience.
Yeah.
It's more about the frequency, which changes you from being neurotypical to neurodiverse, I believe. So everyone might forget their car keys, but if you do that, very regularly to, all the time,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? And it's really impacting your life. That's the difference. So I might say things that you're like, well, I have that too. I think, it's the frequency.
Yeah.
I think.
For sure.
As well. But can't give technically medical advice, so don't sue me.
Yeah, don't sue us.
No, I haven't got any money, so don't sue me.
Yeah.
So
they'd have to take one of your rabbits.
No, they will not.
Okay, cool. Well, should we get into it?
Yes, if you are watching, you can see I've got notes because I just wanted to make sure I don't forget too much. Because when it comes to talking about me and everything, and I find it quite hard to recall. So I've brought loads of notes with me. So bear with. I don't know if you might be able to hear it on the microphone, but yeah. That's why I've got notes here, because I'll forget. Yeah,
you're so cute. You were just sitting at the table, writing all your thoughts.
Yeah.
It reminded me of when we was at school and being all studious. I just thought it's sweet.
Thank you, darling. My little spidergrams.
Yeah, no, I noticed the spidergrams. That's cute.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, well, let's get into it. So I thought, because there might be someone who, this is the first episode they've ever listened to, so I thought it would be good if you could just, introduce yourself and explain a little bit about why I'm interviewing you.
Okay. So, as you heard already, Vicky's kind of already told you, I've got ADHD, PMDD, maybe a little bit, a sprinkle of autism with it, mild autism. They are linked. So 80% of women that have, I can't remember if it's which way round it is, but 80% of women that have PMDD are also, no, 80% of women that have got ADHD or autism also have PMDD. Stats I found.
Is it really
online.
that high, 80%?
Yes. So, firstly, I think everyone kind of knows more these days about ADHD, autism, but with PMDD,
sorry, can you just remind us what it stands for?
Yeah, sorry, premenstrual dysphoric disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, every month for a woman, you have a monthly cycle, menstrual cycle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 weeks leading up to your period, your estrogen dips naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So my hormones are normal. I have a hormone test. They're completely normal. They dip like everyone else's. But my reaction to it is a lot more severe than someone that doesn't have PMDD.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes with physical and mental health symptoms. So, when you say, I've got PMS, I'm feeling aggy, I've got sore nipples, I don't know. Mine's extreme reaction to that natural dip that you have.
And is it a strong, so where you say you just react to it differently, is it a hormone? So it's not a hormone imbalance because your hormone's fine. So what is it? If it's not a hormone imbalance, then do you know what it is?
It's an overreaction to the natural dip of estrogen that everyone has, if that makes sense. Your estrogen naturally dips to therefore and then it raises your progesterone to release an egg for your monthly cycle. So but during that time my PMS is much higher than a normal person's. I overreact to it. Does it make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
So they are quite connected. So estrogen is kind of like, for men, testosterone, man needs his testosterone to function, feel good and everything. Estrogen's really important as well for women, and just your neurological, like how your brain works. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, just want to say this is what I've seen. I'm not a scientist. This is what I've seen.
Yeah. And you're currently not on any medication for like ADHD and anything like that, are you?
I'm on nothing.
Nothing, baby girl.
But I think it's good if you are.
Yeah.
I would quite like to, as I've got older, thinking maybe it would be nice to have some ADHD medication. Like the fact that I'm sat there at work sometimes, I'm like, just concentrate, just think, and it's just not happening.
Yeah.
Like a chronic procrastinator, like it's just not working, and it would be nice to be able to concentrate. So I suppose that would be good. But I've just been taking like natural remedies, like things like zinc is meant to help with impulsivity. Your omega-3, 6, 9 is meant to help as well with your like cognitive function, things like that. So I've been doing it more of a natural route. Obviously I'm on the antidepressants. I'm on 150 milligrams of sertraline, which is high.
Yeah.
Although I'm slightly decreasing that now. I'm on probably like 120, I would say.
Which is the first time you've tried to reduce it in like 10 years, isn't it?
Correct. And that is for the symptoms that come with all of this, which is anxiety and depression mostly. So again, I'm trying to naturally come off it and then try and help myself more with lifestyle and supplements and things like that. But we shall see.
Yeah. So your personal approach has been to, at the moment, you're just looking into some natural remedies, and then you're going to see how that goes. And then maybe at some point in the future, you might be open to medication, but you're not looking at that right this second.
Correct.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, I think I naturally, caffeine, I have coffee every hour and a half, don't I?
Yeah.
Absolutely obsessed. That really helps me focus.
Oh, really?
That really helps me focus. So if it's been like over an hour and a half, again, this could be like a placebo, I don't know, but if it's been like over an hour and a half without caffeine, you'd be talking to me, I literally don't know what you're saying.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I need a coffee shot. And then you're like, right, let's go.
I just feel like without caffeine, I feel like you could talk to me, I have no idea what you're saying, because it's just not processing. Like, so maybe I naturally, with caffeine, I drug myself. That's what helps me focus.
Yeah. Nice, thank you.
It's all right.
Well, I was wondering, because I think it would be interesting to know, can you pinpoint when you think you started to notice any of these symptoms like ADHD, PMDD, autism, like all of them? Like, when in your childhood did you maybe think, oh, I think I might be a bit different, or yeah?
I'll go to the childhood page, shall I? So I don't forget. Okay, so I would say I always felt like an alien. I know it sounds weird, but I just felt like an alien.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, so
I just felt different. Just like, and I just felt like...
And since you can remember?
Yeah, ever since I can remember, I just felt like... I was like, what is all this? And I don't know. I really can't explain it. That a thing I struggle with is talking about how I feel, I think.
Yeah.
And understanding how I feel. But yeah, I just felt like an alien. Some things that looking back on, like, I now realise is a bit weird. Like, so when I was a child, to get to sleep, I'd go on all fours and I'd rock back and forth.
Yeah.
Right? The weirdest thing ever. So we called it rocking the bed.
Yeah.
And because I couldn't understand how people would just lie down and just like lie there and then they're asleep. I was like, what is that? Like, how do people do that?
Yeah.
So I think to burn myself like off the excess energy, I would rock the bed. And I remember every year being like, I'm not going to rock the bed this year. I'm not going to do it to go to
Your New
sleep.
Year's resolution.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm another year older. I'm not going to rock the bed. And And then I ended up not doing it to go to sleep, but doing it in my sleep. And I remember having like childhood sleepovers, and I'd be like, oh my God, I hope I don't rock the bed. And I remember like waking up in the night, like on all fours, and them looking at me like,
Oh,
and
bless you.
when we'd go on holiday, like I'd wake up and my bed, you know, it's because it's a cheap bed, it would be nearly out the balcony where I've rocked it.
Is that like stimming, do you reckon? Is that
I
a
don't
version of
know.
stimming?
I feel like it was just the struggle of being able to switch off and like
Yeah.
had all this energy. And yeah, it was a comforting thing, so
Yeah.
maybe. I just didn't understand how people just lie there and just sleep. Like, how do you switch off? Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
It's because I suppose like babies and stuff, you know, they're rocked and yeah, rocked in the chair or like even in the arms and stuff. So I suppose you just didn't like grow out of it
Yeah,
as quick as
maybe.
other people. But
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a bizarre thing.
When did you stop doing that, do you reckon?
Uh, definitely.
If you want to disclose.
Let's have a sip of water and think about my answer. No, probably like 11. 10,
Okay,
10,
no,
11.
that is, yeah.
But I was doing that in
Long
my
time.
sleep. I stopped.
Yeah, yeah,
I probably
you stopped
stopped doing it to get to sleep, maybe around like 8, 9, 10. I don't. Look, I don't know. Okay.
But yeah, no, it wasn't just like when you were like, yeah, 3, 4, 5. It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was a continuous.
Yeah.
In my sleep. Yeah. So that was weird. Or different. And then also I used to. I don't know again if this is normal. But I used to get naked a lot. But like flash strangers in the street. And I didn't understand, like, I just knew that if my parents found it weird
Yeah.
or whatever, didn't like it, and that made it hilarious to me. So I just pull my top up at like strangers in the street. I mean, so I suppose that's a bit weird. Or I don't want to use that language though. Weird.
No, just different.
Yeah, funny. Feral, basically. I was a feral child. I would do anything that I thought was out there, like get attention and just So
yeah. So do you think maybe that was more of like an attention seeking type?
maybe,
thing?
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
just like I'm a bit bored, so why not I just take a shit on the street? Yeah, I think I just acted on my impulses.
Yeah.
Really, like, really impulsive. Took a lot of risks as well. Like, used to get a BMX when I was like a young child. No, probably like 11, 12 at this point, and I was allowed to go out on my own, go out on a BMX and do like quite dangerous stunts, or like go on the back of it, or lie down and let everyone jump over me on their BMX. I'd lie right next to a ramp. But if they landed on me, I'd be gone, you know. That would have been so dangerous.
So then you were like seeking that thrill, that adrenaline rush.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just don't really think I had a good sense of danger. Like,
Yeah.
I just,
Do you
yeah.
reckon that's like a dopamine kind of fix, like getting the danger, and then like when you've like
Yeah, I
not
think
got hurt,
so.
and you're like, oh, then that's like that feeling that maybe you.
Yeah,
Because
I
don't
think
people
so.
with ADHD and all that sort of stuff, they have like, I could be completely wrong with this, but they have lower dopamine levels. They're trying to.
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, where's my vape, for example? That's my this is my dopamine fix.
We was gonna
Where the
call.
bloody hell is it? Oh, there it is.
We was gonna call the podcast at one point. Where's my vape? Because
It's all I say all the time.
where's my vape?
I'm quitting in March, okay?
Yes, you are.
But yes, it's definitely like need that dopamine fix. So I was quite like that. I used to daydream a lot, so I was never really with it.
Yeah.
So I was either kind of one extreme or the other, really like just absent, or really mental.
Yeah.
And just quite like feral, I suppose. And I did have a good upbringing as well. I didn't. I like my parents were really. You know, it was a good upbringing. They were very calm people and
Yeah.
everything like that. So it wasn't to do with like I didn't have anything chaotic going on.
Yeah.
At a young age, I just was a bit.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you like
Imaginative.
high energy because
Yes.
yeah, when you think of like ADHD children, I think what most people would think is like, yeah, like high energy, running around like crazy, like hard to control. So like, yeah, do you relate to that sort of description?
Yes, but also like the flip side, or I'd just be completely
Yeah.
like disengaged.
Yeah,
Completely
as you
gone.
said, so one way or the other.
Yeah, I think I was one or the other. I was definitely a bit of a unique specimen.
And what about school? How are you?
Do I have a school? Oh, I have a school
Oh,
section.
you have a school section.
I do. Forgetful, I've got on here. So school was all right, I think.
And is there a difference between primary school and secondary school? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely more withdrawn in secondary school.
Do you think?
Yeah. But I had a lot of like personal like trauma happen around
Yeah.
that time, didn't I? Um, so
But
sorry,
yeah,
I'm just looking at Winston. He's got his balls and legs in the air. Oh, that's really cute. Alex's boyfriend. Um, no, Vicky's boyfriend, Alex. Yeah, put your balls away.
They are cute little balls though.
Yeah. Um, so I think in school, like say secondary school, I definitely just kept to my group of friends.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for venturing out. I really didn't care for that, to be honest. I don't remember anyone, do I? You always
No.
talk about people from school, and I'm like, who? Like, I just was in my own little bubble.
But did you feel like anxious to make friends, or was you just like, I just don't give a shit, I've got my mates and
Maybe a bit of both.
yeah.
I had a lot of friends outside though. I was just out drinking all the time, wasn't I? I was quite chaotic.
Yeah.
Like I was drinking from a very young age and partying. But yeah, I definitely did my own thing. As you saw, like everyone would have their skirts rolled up. I had mine as far down as it could be. I wore a big backpack, BMX to school. Like I didn't, with my dad wrote in like permanent marker my name on it. I didn't care. I was just like, this is whatever. So, but I definitely struggled with like paying attention, sitting down, focusing, which made me feel really quite bad about myself. Like I remember in year 8, I asked if I could leave because we went to a grammar school and I asked if I could go to like a normal school.
Did you?
Yeah, in year 8 I had a meeting with my dad and the head teacher.
Really?
Because
I didn't know this.
Oh, really? Yeah, I just thought it was all too much. Like
Yeah.
I was like, but it was big, like it was actually because I couldn't focus
Yeah.
at all. So I'd always fail everything, and then I had a mentor near my GCSEs. So they're basically like you failed all your mocks, like, and I actually got really good GCSEs because the actual reality is I don't learn like from someone standing there talking to me where I've got nothing urgent going on. Like I'm not going to learn that way. I'm going to learn at staying up drinking loads of coffee until midnight, waking up at 5 in the morning drinking loads of coffee and doing my revision the night before, and I've got really good GCSEs. I literally learned everything within like 12 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but at the time, I just felt like, I don't know why, I felt stupid, I think.
Did teachers pick up on anything when you were at school?
Yeah. Like I had, like I had the mentor and everything. And
But did they know it was like ADHD, or were they just like, oh, you need more support because you're failing everything?
I think they put it down to like the stuff that I had going on with my mum passed, didn't she, just before I moved into secondary school. So I think maybe they thought it was that and the misbehaving. But yeah, because I used to see like how creative I could get to get chucked out of class, like what kind of, especially in geography and maths, I was like, what can I do that's different to like get chucked out? And we used to set like little challenges, and then I could just sit outside, which was nice because certain teachers really just got on my tits. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's interesting because that's something that's then in your childhood you used to do things for a reaction, and then you did that in secondary school as well. So that's just interesting, isn't it?
I think I was better in primary school, but that's because my mum was a teacher there and she used to practice their classes on me. And I was really anxious in primary school, like didn't want to get in trouble, just really like, and then I kind of started rebelling as the hormones flooded in.
Yeah.
But that could have been a bit of PMDD as well, all the hormones, me not being good with hormones.
Yeah.
Fluctuating.
Can you pinpoint when you started to feel more down and stuff, like during your period or 2 weeks before your period?
No, do you know what? Like I always knew I had bad physical symptoms before, and I get bad periods anyway. So I always knew I had like migraines and stuff when I was due on. But it wasn't until I think it was last year or year before, a couple of years ago, when I was seeing a therapist, you do like a weekly questionnaire, like how you're feeling, and he was like, look, there's a trend over like 4 months and it's like 2 weeks good, 2 weeks bad, and he was the one that actually pointed it out. And I never actually realised that it all fluctuated around my cycle, and that was the start of knowing it. So I didn't to figure it out myself, someone else figured it out.
But when would you say you started to notice that your mental health was being affected, do you reckon? Like not necessarily linked to your periods, but when did it?
Oh, okay. So, I would say, I mean, I was always an anxious child. So,
Anxious in what way?
just worried about everything.
Yeah.
Like when I learnt about the Great Fire of London in year one, I had reoccurring nightmares of like being in a fire. It was
Yeah,
horrible.
bless you.
I remember giving paracetamol to someone at school because I had some in my bag and they said they had a headache, and then I got in trouble and I didn't understand what I'd done wrong and I just felt awful.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone gets that, right?
Just like really dwell on things.
Yeah, or scared someone's going to break in, and
Yeah.
I would dwell on everything. I'd be so scared to go to school if anything had happened
Yeah.
and stuff like that in primary school and as a child. So I was always an anxious person, and then I think throughout my whole teens, I had, again, this is the thing that I had to figure out with the psychiatrist. There is some stuff from trauma, and then there's also just who I am as, you know, having the ADHD and stuff as well. But I would say it's always affected me from when I was young because I always felt a bit different.
Yeah.
But I think that most of it's come from self-beliefs that I've made of myself growing up, that I'm not good enough, I can't achieve. Because if I'm interested in something, I'll really go for it, but then I'll get bored and then I'll never finish things, and then I'll take something else up. So it's that constant cycle of failing, trying new things and failing, and then you start believing that you can't do anything, or, you know, and all the failing of my exams and stuff like that. I know I'd done well in the end, but I mean, then college didn't go very well either. But I think it was just like, you're never going to really, I feel like I could give so much more and I never felt like I could ever complete it or actually get there.
Yeah.
And like always forgetting to text people back, being in contact with friends, forgetting birthdays, and like, I don't know, I was meant to bring something and I didn't. And it's all these little mini things like, oh, did you bring that thing you asked? Oh, no, sorry. Oh, you didn't call me last night. You said you would. Oh, sorry. And it's just that constant feeling of like you're a failure.
Yeah.
And that's been a kind of self-belief in my life ever since I can remember, really. So I think that's where the bad mental health comes from.
Yeah.
And then obviously the 2 weeks before my period where I'm like, woo!
Yeah. Oh, darling. Well, you're not a failure.
Thank you. I've realised that now.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think you still have that self-belief?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So I'd say, like, not, like, I still feel like I'm quite a bad friend, and I find that hard to get.
You're not. You're the best friend ever.
Thank you.
But sorry, carry on. Just needed to interrupt that bit.
No, you're fine. But I think, like, the biggest issue I've had is, so when I was younger, like in my teens, early 20s, my lifestyle worked for me because I would go out on a Friday night. Everyone I knew would be there. I'd get really drunk, so I'd feel like I can relax, unmask, all of that. And then I'd spend Saturday and Sunday recovering and being away from people. And then that worked for me. And then as I got older and got responsibilities, it was like, and I've got different friends from different groups and you don't see them all at the same time, and trying to keep up with them, I just can't manage it.
Yeah.
And I still can't manage it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And trying to, you know, having a mortgage, doing all of that, like being a responsible adult, keeping up with friends, not really drinking so much, and to unmask and things like that. I just find I'm trying to at the moment get to a stage where my lifestyle works for me, and I think I'm getting there, but I still feel the guilt that I can't keep up with everyone. And
just for like someone who doesn't know, like, can you explain what masking is?
Yeah, so masking is like, for me, it's like almost pretending in front of people. So trying to think of it, like, I have no filter, for example. I will just say anything and it's usually really inappropriate, as you know.
You can always get away with it though.
No, thank you, darling. I do say things, but say, oh, I'm a bit weird, like I'll sit at home and go, meow! Like, and then just do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you've got to, like, I don't know, I just find it a lot of energy talking to people that I'm not 100% comfortable with, or like, just socialising in general takes a lot of energy if I'm not,
Because you're trying to like withhold what you're naturally like.
And I try and mimic people, I think. Yeah. And what's normal. So when I'm, like at work, in that kind of space, I'm having to mask to try and fit in, I suppose, and not be just the biggest weirdo ever. I mean, I am, but I suppose it's that. And then like in social, like drinking situations, like, I don't know, I'm overthinking everything I'm doing. So alcohol helps me relax and just be my authentic, you know, unique self that's going to say really inappropriate things or whatever.
Without worrying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously alcohol really reacts badly for me. It makes me well depressed and well anxious. So, yeah, I don't know if that's a good explanation, but that's what.
Yeah. So then you find that during the week you're at work, you have to mask because it's a professional environment. So you feel like you can't be your true authentic self. So then during the week that's really exhausting. And then before you would then perhaps drink on a Friday night, and then you just had the weekend to like chill out and then relax.
Be on my own and recover.
Yeah, and then you could then you'd be fine again on Monday. Whereas now, because you're older and you have more responsibilities, you do all that during the week where you're masking, and then it gets the weekend, you can't fully relax because you've got adult responsibilities to do. So then you found that it was just all too overwhelming, and then it impacted your mental health more so than when you were younger because you didn't have that downtime over the weekend as much. So now you're trying to figure out a new routine that helps you.
Yeah, and there's more. Just got more things to think about. Bills. You've got to think about. I don't know, your friend's kid's birthday. Like, do you know what I mean? And like, you don't see all your friends at once on a Friday night anymore. You've got different friends in different places, and I just find it so hard. And family want to see more, and it's just so much to keep up on top of. Like for me, because I need a lot of time on my own to recover, and I've always been like that. But now my lifestyle doesn't I just need time where I've got nothing to like recuperate, because I think I find the world quite overwhelming and overstimulating, that I need a lot of downtime to just, otherwise I'll just burn out.
Yeah, that's why I think it's like, so even if, because I think some people are like, oh, what's the point in getting tested for ADHD or whatever, because what's the point, like if you're not going to get medicated, then just don't see the point in it. But it's like, I think it's so important to understand yourself, because if you didn't know that you had ADHD, autism, PMDD, etc., then you might just have this continuous cycle where you're really hard on yourself because you're like, oh, I find it really difficult to text my friends back, whereas other people seem to manage it. I'm a shit person, like I'm this, I'm that. Whereas because you know that you have ADHD, and your friends as well, like I would never get annoyed at you for not texting back, because I know that you're not, I know that you love me. And then, you know, if you're not texting back, it's because you haven't got round to it and you find it overwhelming and everything, you know. So it helps you understand yourself, and it also helps your friends understand you better as well. So I just think, you know.
That's a tough one, because there's definitely still people in my life that I don't speak to much, and they've stopped kind of bothering with me, I think, a little bit, and I don't blame them, because it's
but
like trying to.
Maybe they don't understand though.
It's trying to like, but if you've got to give some back, like, of course. You know what I mean? And I think I struggle with that a lot, and I just get to a point where I've got so many unread group chats. Oh my god,
I hate group chats as
what is that about?
Oh
my god, and it's just it's just so many unread messages, and I'm just like looking at it like, I can't even tackle that. And it's not because I don't love them or care about them or anything like that. I don't know what it is. I just find it so...
stresses you out.
I wish I was just like... I wish I could be uncontactable. Like, I wish it was like the old days, do you know what I mean? Where you could just knock for me. Actually, no, I don't really want people to turn up my door either. But, do you know what I mean? I don't know.
For fuck's sake.
Just
at the front door again.
I just need to be alone. Like, so I find that hard. I think... Another thing, like, I suppose I've realised I don't really get a lot of jokes. So people
I'm the same with this. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
You know, if people are being sarcastic, and I'll take it literally. And stuff like that. I mean, so
I'm literally is that same. Like, when someone's telling me a joke, I literally panic, because I'm like, I'm not fucking going to get this. And like literally the other day when I was with my friend from work, and then he was just telling a story, and he was like, oh yeah, like it was so funny. And then my friend said this joke, and then he told me the joke. And then I was about to pretend I understood, and I was like, oh, I just laughed and pretend I understood the joke. But because I knew him quite well and I feel comfortable around him, then I was like, I did the laugh. I was like, ha ha ha. And I was like, I actually don't get it. And then he spent like 5 minutes trying to explain it to me, and he had to like literally explain the joke like in different stages, and it took like 5 minutes. I was like, oh yeah, I get it now.
I think you've just got to own it though. That's what I've started, like what I'm like now. I think I've always been like that. They would say a joke, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that sarcasm? Because I start taking it literally, and I'm like, sarcasm. Then we just kind of have a joke about it. Like,
I'm terrible at like banter and stuff. I like to I like to witness it, but I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I get you.
I feel like you are quite banterous though.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got my own weird sense of humour, I suppose. But Oh yeah, and another thing. So I was thinking about like how other people have like how it's become more prevalent, I suppose.
What, your symptoms?
Yeah, and then so basically I used to live with my dad and my brother, right? And they are also definitely on
Something.
there's neurodiversity. It's a neurodiverse household for sure. Not diagnosed for them, but 100%.
Yeah.
Like, and my partner Hayden, when he moved in with us for a bit while we were saving for a mortgage, and he was like, "What is going on in this household? Why is there like stacks of broken plates and bowls just outside the back door? Why is that a thing?" And I was like, "Well, they all break." So I don't know. We just put them here. Like, do you know what I mean? There's no point throwing them away because then, and I'll just
So there's just quickly on that. There's two interesting things there. One, that you're breaking stuff all the bloody time, and then the second thing is like where you're like leaving them as well.
just in a weird place. Like it was just yeah. And then and there was things like I'll be cooking dinner, I'll be serving. The hob will be like I'm so erratic when I cook. I just literally just throw everything in, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're really heavy-handed. Like when
really
you put like a glass on, it's like
super heavy-handed and just clumsy and just whatever. And like, you know, I'd just be throwing things in and yeah. But I would serve Hayden dinner and I'd get like a bowl and it'd be on one side of the kitchen. I'd go get a spoon of whatever I'm serving and then just walk, it's spilling everywhere, and then slap it on the plate. You know what I mean? He's like,
there
"What
you
are
go, here's your dinner."
Yeah, and he's like, "What are you doing? Like, put the bowl next to the frying pan." I was like, "I've never thought of that. Like, because I just want to get it done. Like, I don't think things through at
Yeah.
all. Like, it's just chaotic. It's erratic. I don't think about what's a smart way of doing something. I'll just do whatever. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Hayden was very like confused by our household, and I think I then always thought everything was kind of normal because I lived with two weirdos now. Do you know what I mean? But actually, it's like you do all do things so weird,
Yeah.
like, and then obviously you know I struggle with driving. It's another one.
Yeah, but you are a lot better now.
I am.
But yes, it was interesting.
I've got no inner compass. I don't understand where anything is. And
apart from, do you remember when we was in Bali and then you was like, "I'm really good at directions," and then you got us lost for ages.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know why I said that.
If we went back in time, what is there any support that you felt like you might have? Is there any support you would have liked when you were younger? Do you think to have helped you manage your symptoms? Like, do you know, like, what would you recommend to someone who might have like a kid or something with ADHD or?
Just understanding them, asking the questions, like, and figuring out what's going on, because behind a meltdown it's usually because you're overstimulated, overwhelmed. So figuring out like what is actually going on, what's the problem, and helping with that rather than being like, just get over it, like, you know, because like I need to, like, if I'm having a moment like this morning, I wake up and I was saying, I'm like, the house is messy, I've got this on my mind, I don't feel comfortable, I'm cold, I just feel, and it's like a feeling of like my skin is crawling, like feeling. I'm gonna be so like, oh my god, just whether like, and really it's like, okay, what is actually going on? Okay, I need to have a clean environment, and I'm just overstimulated, I suppose. Okay, well, let's just help you. Let's help clear up things that are going on around you. Do you know what I mean? Or let's write down everything on a list, or, you know, I'm stressed about my exams, whatever. Okay, well, let's figure out a smart way we can do this.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to work like how other people work.
Yeah.
Like your brain doesn't physically work that way. Like, so yeah, I would say just being not blame, like get rid of any blame, get rid of any judgment, and just try and understand and help that way. Because yeah, it could be like, oh, you forgot your homework again, or you've forgotten this again, and it's like I literally have the worst fucking memory going, like I haven't got good working memory, that it doesn't align, like it's like gone. Like,
so do you feel like when you were a kid that wasn't really, you felt like people were lacking an understanding of you, so when you say did forget to do your homework or whatever, then they were like, "Oh, Kate, you haven't done XYZ, rather than being like, okay, I'm noticing a pattern here where she's like regularly forgetting things, or she's having these meltdowns. Like, let's actually try and unpack that and figure out what's going on. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and like just sit down, and it's like I can't sit down.
Yeah.
Like, so even like now as an adult, you know, my manager knows that I need to get up regularly, but that will really help me if I can just get up every half hour just for a couple of minutes. I'm going to be way more productive than if you make me sit down for 2 hours and do something. I'm not going to do it. The brain is not going to connect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Interesting. It's all very interesting, these things. So obviously, me being your friend, I've seen you go on this journey for a number of years. You've been, really trying to work on your mental health, just understand yourself better. You've had ADHD assessments, all that sort of stuff. If you could pinpoint or one thing, or summarize, and if as briefly as possible, what you feel like has helped you the most in terms of like improving, your mental health, etc. What do you think you would say?
Self-awareness. Yeah, understand.
Getting all cozy.
Yeah, I am getting all cozy. Self-awareness, understanding yourself better, so therefore you can make adjustments. Like, I think, I know I've already said that, but understanding that I do need to get up. I can't just, and actually just being a little bit kinder to yourself. So, for example, when we first started this podcast, I'm like, actually, I need caffeine. Otherwise, I'm not going to concentrate. I'm just going to go up and do it, instead of being like, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't deserve to interrupt this space to go and do that. Do you know what I mean? It's silly things like that, like just doing more that works for you, like, and just self-acceptance.
That's a good one, self-acceptance.
Yeah, like, you do, there's lots of good things that come with it. Like, people generally find me quite entertaining in a social scenario, and
that's a good point. Let's talk more about like the benefits perhaps you see of ADHD, etc.
I think I entertain people with some of the things that I say that other people might not say.
You are definitely, you're so funny, and everyone loves being around you.
Oh, that's really kind. Thank you. If I'm really into something, I can I'll know a lot about it and stuff, and so it can work in my favour sometimes.
Do you hyper focus on things, you reckon?
Yeah, sometimes. Not as much as a lot of people, though. I just generally can't focus in general for much, like nothing really, you know what I mean? But there is times, then when I've been able to really get, like, I seem to retain a lot of facts, as we know, and I don't know, I find it hard to say those sort of things. What do you think are the benefits of the things I have? Don't think too hard.
No, I'm not. I'm just thinking what I really love about you. So, but then I don't know necessarily if it's linked to like your ADHD, etc. But I love how, you don't give a fuck, and then you are just who you are, and you're quite captivating. And I think because you are different in the best way possible, you have your funny jokes, and then you're, when you walk into a room, you knock something over and you're like, I'm here. And I think, I don't know, you just are like quite captivating, like charismatic person to be around, I feel.
Oh, thank you.
And you have these sparkly eyes, which I think is because you're quite intense with your stare.
Oh yeah, I've been told off with my eye contact.
But I like that.
Autism, they say, they don't really do eye contact and stuff. I'm like this, like staring at people.
But I think it's one or the other. I think because when I was doing the test yesterday, they were saying those are some of the questions where it's like you really struggle to make eye contact, or you literally stare into their soul.
Oh yeah, you do that.
I do that, do I?
Yeah, have you saying about that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying. It's a sexual thing, don't worry.
Yeah, guy during sex told me to stop staring and looking into his eyes. But anyway, we move on from that.
You creep.
But your special interests. So you have a lot of interesting things to talk about because you know a lot of stuff.
Oh, thank you. I remember when they said about the autism stuff, and then I was looking around at all my like rabbit and guinea pig like stuff all over my cottage.
Yeah.
Just like it was just themed everywhere, like absolutely obsessed. And I was like, oh, maybe okay with my like. And then like the week after, I went on holiday, my guinea pig themed suitcase that's for children, and I was just like, oh god. I actually think it would be like a therapy dog if I had one. It'd get me
Yeah.
out my walks, because that was another thing I was going to say, like walking, getting out in nature, all the herbal supplements I've been trying, like for PMDD, for example, like magnesium, I find really helps. And changing my lifestyle around that as well. So for 2 weeks, I try and get things done. And then for the 2 bad weeks, before my period's due, that's when I try and relax a little bit more.
Yeah. Less pressure on yourself.
Yeah, have more baths,
TLC.
TLC. So, and I feel like a dog would be, I don't know.
They are the best therapy thing. Therapy.
It's just free serotonin, isn't it?
Yeah. Literally, whenever I'm sad, I'm just like hug Winston. I'm like,
Oh,
but then
and
he smells so good as well, honestly.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, but I think if he was your dog, you think he would smell really good.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Do you have quite sensitive smell?
No, not really, because I can't smell very well. You'd be surprised with this nose, but I can't actually smell that well. It's more sounds for me. I can't deal if someone's going on in the background. Then I'm like, well, that's all I'm going to listen to, like, and it's gonna. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, more sounds for me.
Okay, so then to summarize, what you feel like has helped you the most is self-awareness, understanding yourself better, realizing that you are a little bit different, and then because of that you just need to do things in a different way. So that means you make adjustments at work and things like that, and then there's nothing wrong, and like knowing that there's nothing wrong with you doing that. It's just that for you to be more productive, you need to just do things slightly, like do things differently that helps you. And also being more aware of your cycle and things like that. So in the 2 weeks you feel good, maybe they're the 2 weeks where you're like fucking smashing everything, and then the 2 weeks you're feeling shit, you're like, I need to be a bit kinder to myself, relax. If I'm not as productive, that's fine, because I'm in my down period. And then you put things in place that's a bit more tender loving care to help you during that time of the month.
Yeah, for sure. I would say absolutely that. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
And
I'm still on a journey to find out more though. So.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask, like, being someone who has ADHD, autism, PMDD, etc., what would you say to someone who is neurotypical but they want to be able to support their friend who is who has like similar symptoms to you? What would you say to them?
Okay, so great question. I would say no judgment. Don't judge them, so that let them talk about what's going on. Don't be like, oh, it's easy, go and do that.
Yeah.
Like, this might be easy for you. And I think everyone can relate in that way, because so everyone has their, like, areas of development and weaknesses or whatever, and their strengths. Do you know what I mean? A lot of patience. You need a lot of patience, because I'm going to break your stuff. I'm going to go to your house and I might end up breaking something. Or
you broke my little dish the other day.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, don't fix it either.
Yeah, I'm going to break stuff. I'm going to forget things. Like, I'm not going to, So it's having that patience and understanding that I might forget your birthday. I don't know. Like, I'll try. I don't want to, but I would have thought about it loads like the week before, and then it would get to the day I'm just in another world.
Yeah, then you're like, oh fuck, I missed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that definitely helping with the forgetfulness of the texting and stuff like that. Like understanding that it's probably best if there's a group chat and people are trying to plan something. If you could send me a text that just says that we're all talking about this at this date, can you make it? I know that's annoying, whatever, but like that would really help.
Yeah.
And I'd say like let them be, like, so for example, if I'm say with my partner, if it's Saturday night and it's 11:30 at night and I want to hoover the house, just let me do it, because it's on my mind. And I need to do it. I need to get it done. Like, so just let me.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'm going to have a meltdown because it's not tidy, or if I decide you come home and I'm painting the bathroom, then that's what I'm doing today. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like letting you get on with things and be yourself. If I say something, it's not meant to be rude, it's just what was on my mind. Like, so do you know what I mean? That just being a bit kind about the things that they can't control things.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot control certain things.
Yeah.
Like, I had it with Hayden, you know, where I was breaking things in the house that were nice. It's like, I can't have any nice things. I'm like, I'm really trying not to do it.
Yeah.
It's just, you literally just forget to concentrate on certain things.
Yeah, it's
like,
not you going around the house just like, fucking, I'm gonna throw everything around, because
I try and control it,
Yeah.
genuinely. So I just forget sometimes
Yeah.
to, like, think about it. And it's like you have to think almost about holding a mug or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, otherwise, if you forget, it's just going to fall out and snap. So yeah, I would say that, like, more than no judgment.
So more understanding, no judgment, patience.
Yeah, and just to ask them questions, ask them how they deal with things, and
Yeah, that's a good one. Being like, how can I, say if you're having like a meltdown, maybe whilst you're having a meltdown, you might not be able to explain what you need in that moment, but then maybe afterwards, when you calm down, but oh, like, if that ever happens again, like, what can I do to support you? Like, what do you felt like you needed in that moment? Yeah.
Yeah, for
Would you say
sure.
that?
And things like, I don't know, say if going on a weekend away, I might be like, so when I've been to hen dos and stuff, I'm like, so what time are we getting there? What time are we doing this? What is the thing? And I want to know all of the things. And, or, you know, and throughout the day, I might be going, what's next? And stuff like that. And it's just so that I can, like, mentally prepare.
Yeah, I do that as well. I mentally prepare for everything. How are you when
You've
plans?
definitely got a bit.
How do you find it when plans change? Because I have a full on meltdown. I find it really difficult.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Do you?
I'd say so. Yeah.
I'm not spontaneous at all, I think, because of that.
Oh, I can be.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's why I'm asking, because I feel like you can be.
I can be. So basically, what I was told by a psychiatrist is, like, ADHD and autism are very different, and they almost gatekeep each other. So if I didn't have the autism side, maybe I'd be a lot more messy, a lot more out of control, and even more just erratic and everything like that. But then the autism, who likes the routine, who likes the like, plans to stay the same and likes to have a good environment and everything, like, they kind of battle out against each other, which can kind of keep them both at bay a little bit more in some ways. Sometimes they really clash, like, you know what I mean? But yeah, they definitely gatekeep each other a little bit. So yeah, although I do like my routine, I'm very particular with my routine. Sometimes I'm just feeling the ADHD kind of crawls over and goes, "You're gonna go get your something pierced." Do you know what I mean? Or so
Do you remember again when we was in Bali, and then this is when me and Alex just first started to date. And then we went to this, like, beach party or something, and then Alex called me, and I think I was on the phone just for like 20 minutes. When I got off the phone, went to, like, find Kate, she was like, I just got a tattoo. She got, like, some, like, dodgy tattoo at a beach in Bali.
It was just on a beach in a beach party, wasn't it, from some random guy?
Yeah, then you were like, oh fuck, I can't get it wet, and then, like, the next day you were just like, oh fuck it.
Yeah, I was like, that should have I should have lost my hand, to be honest, because that was dirty. So that would be like when that creeps in. Do you know what I mean?
So just one final question then.
Yeah.
So what are you hoping for in the future with all this, like, new knowledge you have on yourself? Like, what are the next steps for you? What are you hoping for?
I'm hoping for just to figure out how to make it all work for me, and just be able to play the strengths, make my lifestyle work around it all, just finding that perfect balance. And also I'm hoping to get even better at the self-acceptance and stuff, like, when, you know, for example, when I was away at the hen do or whatever, then I need to go in a room and be on my own for a little bit, and I still although I'll do it and I will do things that are good for me, I still feel guilty about doing it, but I won't let that guilt stop me. But I need to get rid of that guilt as well. So I think, and stop apologizing for things. Like, so I just want to be at that point where I can,
it's like full acceptance,
get that full acceptance, make the lifestyle perfect around me and not feel guilty about it. And just really and just understand even more. I think knowledge is power. Get all the knowledge, get your lifestyle the way it should be.
Amazing.
That's what I want. And I also want, I mean, I hope if anyone did listen to this, maybe no one did, but, and especially if I don't know if they've got to the end now, bloody hell. But if they did and they've got any questions, and if there's any way I can help anyone else, and because that's the thing I've definitely tried to always do, even though outwardly be unapologetic, inwardly I might be a little bit, but I will always try and be my authentic self, and I want other people to be able to do that. Just embrace your quirks, like just embrace it, like because the word otherwise you're gonna super mask all the time, and then you're just gonna be boring. No, I'm joking. But you're just do you know what I mean? It's just too much. Like just the way I think, because I was worried about putting myself out here, for the podcast and for talking about this stuff. I was worried about how people are gonna, trolls and all of that stuff. But then I just thought, life is short and we're all gonna die soon. Like, we're all going to, but we're all going to die soon, let's be honest. None of this will matter. Like, this will not matter in however many, like, this, do you know what I mean? So
and at least when we die, there's going to be videos of us.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And then, like, so put yourself out there and whatever.
So embrace your quirks.
Yeah. Because,
it's cool
you're going to die soon. So, yeah.
You might as well be your authentic self because you're not here for very long.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not as long as you're not being a see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Then,
or like serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's a bit, I'm just a bit of a quirky serial killer. My quirk is murdering.
Kate told me to be my authentic self.
So, here I go. Okay, maybe not that. As long as you're not hurting anyone. Yeah, then because you better check yourself
if you are a serial killer. Then what should they do? Ooh, get some help.
Yeah, get help probably. Like, I can't really stop murdering people. That I would say that is definitely like top of the priority of the GP list. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I would. Have I just been touching his willy? I actually think I have been. Honestly, I've been.
No wonder why you look so relaxed.
Oh no!
Again, to clarify, it's my dog, not my boyfriend.
Oh no! Sorry, Winnie Woo. Didn't mean to touch your willy.
Aww.
Anyway,
well, I think that was amazing, and I think I said it at the beginning, but just to reiterate, like I genuinely, I'm not just saying this, I genuinely do think you're super inspiring, because I just think you've been on this journey and you put so much effort into understanding yourself. You tried so many different things. You haven't given up, and I think you're starting to see the rewards now. But it has taken a long time. And obviously, I've seen you like really, really low. I've seen you really, really high. I've seen you really, really low. And now I feel like you are getting to that stage where you're more like, you are becoming more stable, for want of a better word. But anyway, I'm just really proud of you, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've worked bloody hard to get to this point. But because I suppose it was like something's wrong, but I don't know what. Like, it was just always that. Like, I don't know why. I just feel overwhelmed all the time. I have no idea why. So get understanding more as I've got older, and so thank you. I appreciate that.
Love you.
And thank you so much for all the support you've given me, and trying to figure it out and understand me and ask questions, and I do really appreciate it. And I know I can be my full self around you, and it's not a problem. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, thank you.
Amazing.
This is our first full month complete. Episode 4. Woo!
A whole month
episode.
I remember reading that, I don't know the percentage, but the majority of people who start a podcast only get to episode 3. So we've already beat the majority of people.
We've done it.
Yeah.
So we do have a favour, don't we? For our listeners.
Sexual favour.
Oh, okay.
No, not really.
Oh, you're slaying. What do you want?
What would I want?
Yeah.
I just love foot rubs. That's the way to my heart.
You do, don't you? You always like wiggle
rub.
your feet everywhere.
Yeah.
You always like wiggling your feet on people, and like rubbing them together, and you're like,
that's how
like
I get to sleep. Do you do that when you sleep?
I do actually, to be fair, but still, you do it on people. But yes, if you have got this far, if you could like
and subscribe.
Is that all we've got to say?
Like and subscribe. Yeah, so we're on Apple.
Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yes.
So if you can like and subscribe up to those things.
Yes.
That would be so nice.
Yeah.
And thank you. If we actually do have people listening, then oh my God.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh, the email.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've obviously done our
Yeah.
own questions. And then we would love to hear from you. And you can ask us anything.
Yeah.
Dilemmas.
Yeah.
What else?
What do you think of this? This is what I think of
Yeah.
it. You know.
Do you believe in UFOs? Like literally could be anything.
Literally anything. Yeah, and I want to know now. But we'll have to keep that as a teaser. It'd probably just be no. Okay. Moving on.
Next question.
So what's our email address?
Is it what's your question? WYQ.
Q pod at gmail.com.
Yeah.
WYQ, so for what's your question?
Yeah.
W for whiskey, Y for Yankee, Q for Quebec, pod, P-O-D, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
So any dilemmas, I don't know, whatever it is.
Instagram, what's your question?
Yeah.
TikTok, what's your question?
Yeah, what's your question? We're all on there.
We're all on there.
You know.
Bish bash
Please
bosh.
don't send any hate comments because...
Yeah, like just minimal.
Yeah.
Whilst we're in this.
Please avoid it. Like, I already know I've got a little piggy nose.
I love your nose.
Thank you. I already quite aware about my large head, as we know. So just leave me be, okay? Just leave me be.
Yeah. Thanks,
And if you do send bad comments, then what I'm going to do... Well, I don't know, actually, nothing. Probably just cry. But anyway, okay, right. Thank you so much. Okay,
Thank
love you.
you. Lots of love. Bye, everyone. Bye.